You've been doing this for a long time. And is it true you got your first corporate sponsorship at the age of 16?
I believe so. You know, it's funny. It's such a whirlwind, but yeah, I believe it was around then. Yeah.
So there have been lately. There was on Frontline the other day. There was a documentary called Generation Like about young people who are using Facebook to create their own brands. One featured a young skateboarder. Are you using Facebook to pump up your brand, the Chris Cole brand, generating likes? Is this something that...
Yeah,
I mean, you're a little older than these kids, and not as old as I am, but, I mean, you're...
Yeah, you adapt to it, for sure.
Is it important to you, this sort of digital social networking?
I think it is, because it's really a way to directly interact with somebody, especially with, like, Facebook and Instagram and things like that, where it's right in their face. This is what you're doing, and I want to know what my favorite pros are doing, so I follow them, and then they follow me, and then kids get to follow me, and I try to not bombard them with bad posts, though. Try to keep it really classy out there.
What has someone like Tony Hawk meant to you?
He's the original. He's the guy who, whenever anybody knows skateboarding, they know who Tony Hawk is, and
he's a household name.
He's a household name, and that's what I hope that I'll be like my generation's Tony Hawk, so to speak. That's what I aspire to be. And
why is that important to
you? I guess simply is that I've never wanted to do anything else other than skateboard, as far as a job goes, and I feel like there's a lot of people in the spotlight who aren't really great people. And they're not really great role models, but we feed into it and we watch them on TV and we emulate their bad behavior. And I feel like I'm not one of those people, and I can really spread skateboarding and the treasure that skateboarding is to the next generation of skateboarders. It brought so much enrichment into my life, and I hope I can bring it to theirs as well.
So, Chris, we're obviously coming off the Winter Olympics when snowboarding seemed to be sort of featured every night, and some of the snowboarders, have also become household names. Shaun White, Mark McCormick. I mean, is snowboarding eclipsing at all skateboarding? I mean, obviously, snowboarding owes so much of what it does and its popularity to skateboarding. Is it because we've just come off the Winter Olympics, or is there a feeling that maybe snowboarding has eclipsed somehow skateboarding?
I feel like they're such a different animal. And I think that also with that being said, skateboarding kind of just luckily for me it's something that you can do right out front of your house. You can do it at a skate park. You can travel and do it. It's not like you don't need to wait on snow. You don't need to suit up to go out there with your lift ticket. You don't have to ride up, and then if you miss it, you have to hike back up. It's really like a kid can go out front in his driveway and just practice over and over and over that trick that he wants to do right there.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because Tony Hawk, we had him on Taking Stock a few weeks ago, and he actually talked about skateboarding and how it's really kind of a lifestyle. Here's what he had to say.
I just did things that I felt were intuitive and that were easily associated with our culture and our sport. I feel like skateboarding is as much of a sport as a lifestyle and an art form, and so there's so much that transcends in terms of music and fashion and entertainment, and so that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to promote skateboarding in the best way possible through different media as well.
Tell us about the club.
So a lifestyle and easy to kind of cross over to mainstream skateboarding?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, you know what, I talk about this a lot, but there's a whole world in skateboarding, and it's like a trend-setting world where style starts there, and then it gets into the mainstream, and music really gains popularity through skateboard videos. We all love this song, but it's because this guy used it in this really inspirational video part. Things like that, and I think Tony was dead on with what he said.
Work-life balance. I know you travel a lot and we don't have a lot of time, but Has it been hard for you to sort of balance a family with what you're having to go all around the world skateboarding?
You've got a couple kids, right?
Yeah, I have two awesome children. My daughter, who's 4, and my son, who's almost 8. My wife takes the brunt of the work because I am gone a lot, and I think that to be pro and to be traveling in this day and age, it's way easier than it used to be. But man, being gone from my kids, it's
hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah.